honorable soldiers of the territorial defense units. Today we thank you for your service and dedication to Ukraine, to all the soldiers, sergeants, officers of the Ukrainian territorial defense, to all those who have proven themselves in the defense of Ukraine, in the defense of our state, our independence, our people, our communities. The idea of the territorial defense is in fact a full-fledged defense of the state from external aggression. And after the beginning of the war, a large-scale Russian invasion, this idea worked on the unity of the entire nation. Only during the first month of this war, more than 100,000 Ukrainians joined the territorial defense forces. Now, 25 brigades of the territorial defense forces of Ukraine work together with all other components of our defense and security forces. Brigades and battalions of the territorial defense forces fight on the front line. They actively help in battles at the border, involved in covering important directions. Only the titles of the heroes of Ukraine are awarded to 46 soldiers of the territorial defense forces. Thousands of soldiers are awarded other state awards of Ukraine. Today is your day, the day of territorial defense. It is an honor for me to mark you and thank you, your comrades. Thank you for fighting for the sake of Ukraine. Defend your positions and your comrades. Thank you for the real results in battles. It really matters a lot. Everyone's results depend on the life and success of our country. We are proud of you. And we must remember the value of defense in a war. Now I would like to take a moment to honor the memory of every fallen hero of Ukraine. Thank you. Thank you. Glory to Ukraine. Dear Ukrainians, the liquidation of Russian strikes in Ukraine continues. This is a massive strike. The Russians are not even trying to hide their real goal. The absolute majority of targets are civilian facilities, including infrastructure, energy, civilian enterprises, warehouses, including warehouses with civilian goods. This is also our logistics. Logistics on the railway is what provides a normal life for the community and the economy. Dozens of ordinary residential buildings were also damaged. Unfortunately, there are victims of this strike. 4 people died in Lviv region, including 1 child. 1 person died in the Zaporizhzhia region. My condolences to my relatives. Currently, there are 18 injured. No one is getting any help. There were 53 missiles, including aeroballistic ones, and several waves of strike drones. There were almost 500 strike drones. 250 of them were shot. A significant part of them were shot down. Unfortunately, not all of them. Almost 40 missiles of different types, almost 450 drones were shot down. Unfortunately, there is no strong reaction from the world to everything that is happening. There is a constant increase in the scale and intensity of the strikes. That is why Putin is doing this. He is just laughing. And thanks to this silence and the absence of strong actions, Russia has rejected all the proposals to stop the war, or at least to stop the strikes. Russia is trying to destroy our civil infrastructure. Right now, before the winter, the gas infrastructure, the generation and transmission of electricity. There is no real reaction from the world. We will fight so that the world does not remain silent. We will fight so that Russia feels the response. Every Russian missile, every Russian strike drone, including the components that are supplied to Russia, and still from the Western countries, from different countries near Russia. Now, in the 4th year of the full-scale war, it is strange to hear that someone does not know how to stop the supply of critical components. Only one Russian missile, Kinzhal, contains 96 components of foreign production. Many of them are critical components that Russia does not produce. Almost 500 drones that the Russians used at night today are more than 100,000 components of foreign production. Among the manufacturers are companies from the United States of America, China, Taiwan, Britain, Germany, Switzerland, Japan, the Republic of Korea, the Netherlands. There are, in particular, schemes for several countries. All this must be stopped. Next week, a meeting of the sanctions coordinators, groups of 7, and all our proposals for sanctions on the limited supply scheme are planned. Partners have the materials to make the necessary decisions. We are preparing our new sanctions against those who are working for Russia now, for its war, and against those who are trying to weaken Ukraine at this time, in the regions, everywhere, where it is necessary. Repair brigades work, our energy workers work, our utility services are involved. I want to thank the rescue workers of the national police who are involved. It is important that businesses also help. It is necessary for the public, for the whole state to be supported by our entrepreneurs. I have already held a meeting today with the Prime Minister of Ukraine, with the head of the NKVD, with everyone who is needed to help people to accelerate the renewal of work. I encourage you to be in the regions, to check what the communities really need, and to check the truthfulness of each council from the region. I expect reports from each region, from each community. I want to thank everyone who defends Ukraine, who defends our people. Thank you to everyone in the world who is with Ukraine, who is defending life for real and not just intentions. And today in Ukraine is the Day of Educational Workers. Traditionally on the eve of Friday we all greet our teachers, and we thank them, of course. And today, too, we can never be too grateful to all Ukrainian teachers, all teachers, everyone in our country who works, so that schools work, so that universities work, so that our Ukrainian children, despite everything, despite all these blows, despite all the Russian humiliation, get a chance for a normal life, for a good future. I thank all teachers, lecturers, all educational workers. This is really one of the most important things in our country. Ukrainian education works, overcomes all difficulties, gives children a good level. I thank all of you, our educators. Thank you. Glory to Ukraine.